Best days of the week to fly right now. Leisure travel demand has fully rebounded to pre-pandemic levels, but the supply of flights is still down 15 to 20% because airlines are still short on pilots, planes, and ground crew. Rising aviation fuel costs and airlines' financial difficulties caused by the global COVID-19 pandemic also add to the chaotic situation at the airports and soaring airfares. Airline industry experts have shared their insights on the best days of the week to fly right now, with consideration to airfare prices, queues, and travel disruptions. Which days of the week are best to fly right now to spend less on airfare? Airfare prices can vary from one day to the next. However, airlines are relatively predictable when it comes to price fluctuations. As a standard rule, the cheapest days of the week to fly are those that are classed as off-peak Tuesday and Wednesday. It is important to note though, that the greater the demand for a particular flight, the more likely it is that these tickets will be higher in price. Therefore, try to avoid traveling on the busiest days of the year, for example, the first day of the school holidays. Which days of the week are best to avoid stressful crowds, long lines, and general chaos? For those looking for a quieter flight, it is recommended that you travel on off-peak days, particularly Tuesdays and Wednesdays. These days are typically less busy for travel. Business travelers usually fly at the start and/or end of the week, whilst those traveling for leisure often wait until the weekend. As a result of the reduced demand for flying on these days, airfares prices are respectively lower, so it is a win-win situation. Which days of the week are best to avoid travel disruptions? Over the last few years, flight cancellations have become increasingly frustrating, and seemingly unavoidable. Although any flight is technically liable for cancellation, recent trends have shown that flight cancellations typically coincide with how populated an airport is. Therefore, it could be worth considering travel on off-peak days Tuesday and Wednesday. You may also want to consider flying at quieter times of the day, particularly during the early hours of the morning to avoid rush hour.